I don't. What's. How's the song go? It's something like. I don't. I don't what? What does it say? I don't remember. Anyways. I just wanna set the world on fire. Exactly that. That's actually me. But yeah, let me. As I always say, I should. I kind of forgot, and I didn't have this stuff ready. Let me check the audio. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be waiting for like 2 more minutes until I can properly do that. Wait, I can hear myself with OES, but at the same time, it's so instantaneous that I don't really get to know if it is good or not because it literally overlaps with what I am saying. So I don't hear myself with a little bit of delay. I hear myself as if I was like just hearing double what I am saying, and that doesn't work to know the quality. Or at least, I guess it can work to know the quality. I guess I'm not accustomed to doing that personally. But yeah, it will take a moment. After that, we will be ready. It's just a second. It's just a second. What's up? Okay, it's opening. It's opening. It's opening. Here we go. Here we go. Restore. Yeah. Now let me hear myself. That's all that I want. Is it working? Is everything? Ah, no. Wait. I should. Now I can also probably check the difference between having the mouse connected and disconnected. I remember when I heard that for the first time. Let's say it was so funny. I don't know why it even actually has such an influence on the audio, but it does. Now, is is it working? Can you actually load, brother? Why is it destined to specific publics? No, specific audiences. That's the word on English. Wow, that's how I sound. Yeah, it works. It fully works. It. Oh man, I hate this guy. Anyways, here we are. Here we are. The point is here we are. Also, it doesn't even have that much delay. There are only like how much? 5, 10 seconds or so. It's so funny. Anyways, I should have switched. I didn't. Let me streaming. I didn't change the image. It's the same thing, anyways. There we go. Good evening. Here we are. I don't know. I don't actually have any plan for today. I think it's better if we just go about life like that. It's sometimes it's better to just enjoy the moment. Not every single day has to be a fully planned out existence. Not all the things must carry with them the burden of order and such. So yeah, the point is here we are. Good evening. I don't know. It has been quite a long time since the last occasion that we actually ought to be here. So yeah, that's also fine. That's also fun, I guess. I I was thinking about it. I suddenly I realized like way too late. What if today, taking into consideration that the plan was from the beginning, at least for myself, to do literally just one of these very more relaxed types of I guess they are in these streams after all. So yeah, one of those more calm types of stream without trying something like what is it, Beeroid or such? What it isn't Beeroid, it is I think Warudo. Yeah, Warudo is the one that supposedly is less resource intense. One of them is I don't actually remember which one. There are like way too many of those options, so I actually should start looking into that. But yeah, I don't know. Life is so. That's what I am trying to say. Why? Because there is a reason as to why that is going to happen. I supposedly, if nothing bad happens, we're not so far away from actually getting a working PC and such. So that's all. Um, yeah, I think it's in itself it's a good new. It's something that I don't know. It took quite a while. I mean, since we began. So how much? I haven't really. I was trying to think about that. It's kind of crazy. Not keeping a track of time in that sense is kind of wild. I don't even know how long it actually has been. Has it been already 2 years, 3 years? How long has it been since the first day that we appeared here? So however long it has been, the point is, yeah, we probably next year, I guess. Next year is a safer bet than any other move. I think it's kind of dangerous to actually say, yeah, you know what, today actually is when I am going to do all my best to get everything set up, or not set up, everything aligned to get a new PC. That's kind of that would have been not so much of a good idea before. So yeah, soon TM. And after that, yeah, yes, it will slowly be time to change a lot of stuff. I guess it's. I am looking forward to that. Yeah, it's something funny. I don't think that I actually. I don't. Yeah, it's one of those sides of, yeah. You know what? We have to think out way too many things in that sense, like organizing everything else, restructuring stuff, making sure that things work and whatnot. It's kind of a hassle. So just trust. I guess that's my point. That's what I can say. Trust that, yeah, next year probably things are going to get a little bit better. I guess not just a little bit, but yeah, at the very least a little bit is what I can promise. That's what's going on, I guess. Something else? I don't think so. I don't know. Not not much. Life is quite a mystery, I guess. That's that's certainly something. Being alive is such an entertaining thing. I yesterday, it was. Yeah, I actually also have a reason as to why I didn't even stream. I said I wanted to. I even had that on the schedule and whatnot, and it didn't happen in the end. So it was also the Mahabharata Day, the second Mahabharata Day of the week. It's so over, brother. It's so actually over. But well, the point is, yeah, stuff happens, and yeah, you know what? When life allows you to at least, let's say it like this, keep on living despite having to take some breaks, despite having to actually recover from things that happen, even if that is true. I think that it is nice anyways. It is an enjoyable thing to actually look forward to those instances in which it is possible to also slowly recuperate, slowly get to feel better. So I don't think it's all that well. I don't get angry over that. But yeah, it just happened. The real point is it just happened. We didn't get to have that, so I should organize myself with everything so that we can have then another stream of Mahabharata long enough, I guess. It's also very, as always, I try to say, or not I try, I guess it's more of an unconscious habit at this point to say it's something that requires energy and whatnot. It's not really all that complex or complicated, it's just something that one has to do willingly. That's kinda in itself a lot, yeah, while being focused. And you know, this whole idea of the human gets to have only like 2 hours of focus for their whole time yeah, you can supposedly you can excel at anything that you do for 45 minutes. After that, you aren't really doing all that much more. And what you might even be doing, you can last up to supposedly 2 or 3 hours, but you are still not getting as many results out of the choices that you take and the activities that you remain doing, if it is anything even more that you want to gain something from. So, in that sense, yeah, I think it's kind of funny to see that, you know what happens? The renting a ferrata for way too long is kind of complicated. I don't think it's bad, but I just think that it is overly, yeah, overly demanding. Anyways, I like it. So it's not like, wow, we have to read the Mahabharata. What a pain! I cannot believe it. It's such a nice thing. I I haven't. Besides just the Mahabharata, having the possibility of reading texts of any kind and exploring also cultures and whatnot has become quite an interesting pastime, I guess. No, hobby. That's the proper, yeah, a proper hobby of sorts. So in the end, it's just another side structure, phase, and another face of the same coin of getting to do that. To also read the Mahabharata. And it's fine, it's fine. I don't at this point I don't actually I remember when I used to get a little bit angrier because, oh yeah, you know what? There is nothing that I can actually say about stuff that we are reading and whatnot. And it's sort of unavoidable. At some point, the brain just actually shuts down. So it's funny to see, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. I guess I don't know. It's fine, anyways. I guess it's good enough, at least for me. So yeah. Besides that, has any other thing of importance happened? I think not. Yeah, I already said that supposedly, if everything were to go in the right direction, implying quite a lot of things, next year it seems to be a proper measurement for a new PC. So I'm looking forward to that. I guess I I have more than anything else to actually organize myself around that. So that's going to be a little bit crazy. I actually haven't really done so in quite a. I mean, yeah, I this actual PC that I have is so old that I do have. I have had the opportunity of switching around PCs and whatnot previously, and what I can say is it's always such a process. That's the proper adjective to utilize, I guess. Ah, but yeah, it's even if it is something crazy, it is still something needed. So I cannot actually complain about it. I just it's how life happens in just a brief. This whole expression of in just a blink of an eye, everything has passed now. You know, it was yesterday when I got this PC, and now I will have to think about getting a new one that works, that has way too many qualities. Also, I kinda hate that one particular idea. I am. It's I was talking about that with a friend. It's going to be so incredibly unfunny when I have to actually try to get one working. That whole, I don't know, man. I don't understand why it is so normalized to go absolutely crazy when you have to get a new stuff. Oh yeah, you know what? I want to buy a new car. There is no generic type of car. Oh yeah, you know what? There are 50,000 models. Now you have to choose one. Can't you just give me a car that works, man? Do we actually have to go through this whole dance of, oh yeah, you know what? There are all of these higher horsepower, lower horsepower, higher maintenance, lower maintenance, with different types of manual, automatic. Man, can you make it easier? Can you, for the love of God, make it easier? I don't want to go through the same thing now with a PC. It's so boring. It's so utterly boring. But if it has to happen, I guess at the very least, it's that illusion of freedom of, oh wow, yeah. Now I get to choose which color the cage of my PC is. Wow. What a grand choice. But yeah, at least it's something. So not much to really get angry about. It's better than nothing, so it's that. And besides that, yeah, it's I was thinking about it. It's one of those many things that, okay, thinking about it seems kinda bad because it's actually very, I wouldn't say exactly bureaucratic, but it's that whole process of, oh yeah, this has to go through all of those loops and whatnot. Once all of that is out of the equation, so to speak, what also happens is, we have this other side, this in plural, other aspects of, wow, you know what? It's also possible to get over that in, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or no, what? 5 hours? That's the proper measurement of time. Not minutes, hours, but yeah, it's still not so long. Unavoidably, I guess, yeah, there is this other side of, wow, in 5 hours, I finally understand what I need to buy, what, or from which place and which things. And after that transaction in itself is performed, there is this other aspect of, okay, now to wait for how much? A week, a month, 2 weeks, 1 day, 2 days, how much to wait? But waiting is a lot easier. Waiting doesn't actually require any energy. It's like you can grow impatient because you have to wait, but at the same time, you can also just don't give a fuck. It's not everything needs to matter. So it's nice, but I don't know. It's the proper word. Intimidating. I don't know if all of those words are intimidating, but yeah, it's just the intimidating reality of having to try and get a PC. And after that, just after that is done, we will be fine. Supposedly, I don't know. I haven't really even, for example, thought, oh wow, has this become the new equation for some type of happiness? Has this become the new promise type of thing that will make me, that will finally bring me happiness? This materialistic view of the world. I am trying to not be like that, I guess, but at the same time, I don't know, unavoidably, I think it's, let's say, it has to be along the side of the equation of less pain, less suffering in terms of, wow, a PC that can actually work without exploding or without the risk of potentially exploding if I use it way too much. Not even way too much. If I use it to actively uh, this. I guess it's something that I am going to miss when when things have to be all a lot slower. Therefore, one has to also grow a lot more patient. Wow, I don't know. I yeah, I haven't really thought about that. It's going to be so crazy. I remember I have been around friends who have nice stuff, and you can see it, that discomfort after having had something nice, in which they feel very anxious once things don't instantly work. They are going to work at some point, but things don't instantly go in the right direction. So just because of that, it's something that deserves to become a whole issue. Man, I don't know if that is all that true, all that correct. I wouldn't say so. I don't think it's useful to grow anxious about so much stuff so easily. And yeah, in this case, it's going to finally time to be on the other side. I guess I don't know. I it's just with single PC, not that much more anyway. So doesn't actually matter. It's fine. It's fine. It's something that has to be done anyway. So just I talk about way too many of these things in other times. So I guess you can just say that it is an emotional guy trying to slowly do the process of saying goodbye to their belongings. It's complicated. Yeah, it takes some patience and some acceptance to finally do so. Well, sorry, more than anything else, yeah. Once it is actually time to do that, and not something so distant. So, I am happy, anyways. It's good, but I don't know. It's just something that yes, I wouldn't have expected to see. Or at the same time, yeah, no, I am never something good with time. It actually is right around the proper time in which I would have said before, oh yeah, now I should probably change my machine and such, but it's good, it's good. The point is, it has to happen, it will happen, so many things are going to change, I guess. I don't know. I will I have to still, for example, consider, is this going to be something worth changing everything else for in terms of, oh, wow, yeah, are we going to play something? The PC is going to change, but my my whole setup is still the same. It's still as incredibly complicated to set up what is it, a microphone, a proper microphone. I have still to hold this one with my hands. It's I don't know. I have to figure that out on my own eyes, but it's just so much. I guess things that can could probably left to tomorrow to be thought out in terms of, yeah, you know what, this isn't a thing that I should be concerning myself with right at this moment. So I would rather let them be. Let them sit on that basket of things that I have delayed. But I don't know, as always, it's kind of bad to do that. You leave the stuff there, then you forget that you left something in that area. Then you find out that you ended up ignoring something until it became so necessary to deal with that. It's literally almost the time in which, if you don't deal, or it's actually the time in which, if you don't deal with the thing in itself, there are going to be bad consequences for you. So yeah, it's the same thing here, I guess. I am I finally, I guess, I wouldn't say I finally get it. I don't. Just in this one, I can understand why it's necessary to try and organize oneself around all of that stuff. And I have to say, it anyways is somewhat complicated. So yeah, I am. I'm happy. I guess I'm not feeling bad because of that or anything like that. It's just trying to slowly, yeah, sort things out. Besides all the other of that stuff that also has to be sorted out, so the experience of being alive, just as I said. But anyways, anyways, uh, let me let me drink something. Thank you. Okay, I think I will. What the fuck? Sorry, I can finally talk about that. Um, I can't even. I remember some. How much or how long has it been since that was created and whatnot? I finally gave it some time to understand what I was trying to say, where I was going with this stuff and such. And I think I am going to probably also publish or try push full to the maximum to try and publish the thing that I wrote. I kept it saved to myself. I don't think it's all that useful, mostly because also yeah, it's not the one thing to publish and nothing else. I think it's going to be like quite a long journey ahead of us. It's going to be fun, I guess. It's something quite crazy actually. I don't know. It takes some time to picture things in a way in which they feel coherent enough and feasible enough, and more than anything else, once you understand your own position as a human being, the way in which they all make sense in the bigger frame of the time that we have as human beings, creating stuff of that sort and being capable of organizing oneself around projects like that is complicated. So yeah, it's finally time now to see or not to see to say or anything like that. It's just time to enjoy the possibility of knowing that yeah, the I guess this is the lane we chose. This is where we are or where we will be going from now on, I guess. I don't know. Something along those lines, and I cannot really complain. It's good. It's far better than not having chosen anything, so I don't know. That's way too pessimistic anyways. It's far more better than having chosen something that it doesn't feel fulfilling in any other way. So yeah, that in itself is already wonderful enough. I would say otherwise that yeah, it's kind of bad to not have any clue. I don't know. I keep on growing. I keep on seeing people talk out their life. I guess it's the eternal discussion of wow. I have to figure out what I actually want to do with my own life, and it's kind of crazy to see that yeah, sadly most people don't get to have an answer for that and don't get to feel like they understand how it might be even possible to reach for such an answer of that sort. So yeah, I guess it's as always just trying to create in that sense a plan that feels sufficient enough and that can lead to anything good, useful. So it's it's about also in that case, yeah. It's pretty much what I always say. It's also about whether having patience, but that's that's how things are ought to be, Whole life doesn't happen in just 5 minutes, even if one can be lost in less than a second. Sorry, but yeah, uh, stuff like that, It's it's about taking it chill, I guess, or taking it with the appropriate intensity. Things will be, things will move, stuff will happen. So no need to actually rush everything so much, I guess. I would rather enjoy not having all of that. I don't know. I wouldn't say exactly it is anxiety, but rather it is that yeah, hyperactivity that makes everything feel like it all needs to happen right now. I guess it's one of those sad realizations of, yeah, you know what, after having been so for so long alive, you realize at some point that also sadly, yeah, it's kind of crazy to see that we have, as human beings, we have to figure out where we want to go, what we want to do, and what's not, while also dealing with this thing that I don't know. Maybe it's not that good to say it outright in terms of, oh yeah, this is actually an issue. Maybe it isn't as much of a problem, but I think, man, that our attention span is quite destroyed lately. I don't know. Besides the stuff of this sort, besides places like this one, and many other types of media that gets to be consumed despite them being incredibly long, the normalcy seems to be that, yeah, things take incredibly short time to be and to get to exist and whatnot. So it's just it's just crazy that while we are like TikTok kids, or not kids exactly, we supposedly are adults, so we are, what is it? Young adults who might not be as exactly fried, but we still have way too many other types of minimally already brain altering entertainments that have left their mark on us, I guess. And in that same sense, yeah, it's going to be crazy to have to actually live to be like, I don't know, 70. It's it's something that you don't actually want to think out, So it's like, what the fuck? I have to live for so many years. Inconceivable. So yeah, it's trying to also do that, I guess. But it's not something that I say in terms of, oh wow, yeah, it's so hard to stay alive. No, no, no. It's more along the lines of, wow, yeah, it's it's kind of crazy. I don't know. Personally, I feel like it's complicated every single year to feel like the passage of time isn't incredibly slow. I don't know how is it going to be when I get. I don't want to be like overly overestimate stuff, or overshoot. I think it is the expression. I would bet that in 5 years it won't really change that much, or it might even go to an even worse state. Man, I don't know. I hope we get to solve to some degree this addiction that we have to to short form content. I actually hope we have some ways, but at the same time, I don't know. Freedom of will has allowed us to get quite far with all of that stuff. So now we don't have to worry ourselves about it. It seems to be the norm that everybody gets to have their phone and do whatever they want with it. So 12 hours screen time. Wow, so good. Then the question comes: why do we feel bad? What do you think it might be, brother? Why, why do you think that might be happening? Do you want to take a wild guess, the craziest guess that you can go for? Do you want to make that? To risk it? I am willing to hear, maybe, perhaps. I don't, I'm not attacking you. Not saying it in a bad light. I'm not trying to damage your mind, but what if it is actually somewhat negative for us to spend so much time stuck to a screen? And then we go back to this reality of, oh, wow, yeah, but everyone else does that. I don't know, man. The normal expression that all the mothers utilize is, oh, wow, yeah. If your friends throw themselves off a cliff or off a, what is it, off a bridge, will you do the same? Uh, I don't think that's, in some cases, it's all that valid. Oh, yeah, society does stuff. This, I guess, let's say like this. At some point, being an adult also encapsulates the reality of, and sometimes you have to choose stuff. Even if the rest doesn't do the same, you have to still choose things that feel good for you. So yeah, in that sense, it's also that I am slowly. I wouldn't say. Yeah, I guess it's kind of an overstatement. I have just adapted enough to not find myself so incapable of living in a world like that. It's the normalcy, as always, is we can't even have conversations of any sort that might be profound. We can't go for anything all that truly. It's not about complicated. I remember thinking about it recently. It's not about the things that are complicated in any way. It's more along the lines of things that create or that have any sort of impact, so to speak. And in that whole realm, in when trying to achieve stuff of that sort, it's just about possessing enough patience to, or not patience, tolerance. I guess that's a much better word. Tolerance to actually get to see things and get to explore them. Interest, desire to actually find out what is it that might be in front of me. Also, yeah, it's doable. I'm not saying that. Oh yeah, we are condemned to have a brain rot by I don't know 2030 or so, some estimate like that. It's just that yeah, it's I guess the world is in some ways moving way too fast. I don't. I understand why people say that I act like a fucking old man in some ways. I get it. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't know, man. We passed from, or we transitioned from not having mobile phones exist in the early thousands to have them as a necessary item in the 2010s or so to now being something that we cannot live with if we don't get to have it. It's crazy, man. I think we have achieved way. I wouldn't say way too much or way more than what we expected. It's just way more than what we were capable of ever realizing we did. And yeah, this uncontrolled growth, uncontrolled progress, unobserved, never truly acknowledged, so to speak. It's weird, yeah. We don't ever truly want to. There are so many of those things. I am still slowly, for example, trying to deal with that whole reality of AI. Yeah. The world of things that might be never at all truly directly mentionable because it hurts us. It hurts every single one of us way too much to talk about them. And I don't know. Is it all that bad to actually want to say, yeah, we might be having problems with how we are related to technology. We might be losing ourselves in the sauce. Something along those lines. Mm. But I don't know. It's fine. It's even if that is true, it's fine. Anyways, we still. I wouldn't trade or exchange all of this present freedom for the sake of more. Once again, control in that sense. I guess, to some degree, supposedly this allows a lot more creativity, allow a lot more freedom for everyone interested in doing anything. For this whole idea of, okay, this world might promise a lot more rewards for anyone who is actually willing to sacrifice themselves a lot more. Suddenly, we have found a way of structuring reality in which you kind of have to be a little bit crazy to sacrifice yourself to any cause, even if it is a selfish one, just to end up having something that satisfies you. But at the same time, at the very least, the reality is that we cannot actually say it is a complete guaranteed thing, because otherwise we find ourselves damaging those who seem to not have gotten what they deserved despite having done all the right things in their life. So we just stay in the, oh yeah, have the promise of, I don't know. It's something weird. I was also thinking of that. It's supposedly it is sort of the human dream, but at the same time, oh wow, yeah, you find it in many nations, and I am sort of hinting at, yeah, it is even present in stuff like the American dream and whatnot. Like anybody can be someone and whatnot. Oh yeah, anybody can, I guess, make it out of the streets. I don't know exactly how deep the line goes. But yeah, it's along those lines of, yeah, the world has offers, has things to give to allow, but it takes quite a lot of effort, and I guess, yeah, sometimes it's even impossible to believe that any kind of effort is going to be the correct one to take the correct one to go for. But that's just a consequence of how things have always moved. I don't know. I don't actually fully align myself with that. I haven't, in processing much of the knowledge that I have been reading. I remember this. Okay, let me take it from this perspective. I have been, yeah, unavoidably continuing with the reading process and exploring multiple authors. And one of the most obvious things that I found out there was this idea of, yeah, you know what? There are many events, many factors that we can look at, that we can even point our fingers at, so to speak, about things that are happening, things that are going on, stuff that moves us in any direction. And in that same sense, one of those, or not one, what happens is, funnily enough, maybe a big majority, I don't want to give an exact number. I don't want to estimate that. It's kind of sad, actually. A big majority of what we can look at to say that it influences us is not something that we did or something that we chose. It's this whole mode of referring to things as, oh yeah, yeah. It was my past, the people around me, my memories, my experiences. It's it's everything but me. And it's not that I don't understand it, but I think it's kind of sad, man, to not have anything that belongs to us, that no responsibility for what we actually end up being is ours. And in that same sense, it is that I also say, oh, yeah. And I don't find it all that bad to also think about the possibility of getting to have any kind of project and work with it. Because at the same time, it's kind of a contradiction about all of those things. It's kind of crazy to see that, yeah, this promise of sorts comes to say anybody can achieve things. Well, if I decided to just stay at the analysis level of, oh yeah, my all my otherness, all the things that constitute me that aren't me, all of those are more important than what I could ever get to do with my own self, with my own time, with my own energy, dreams. So yeah, it's it's more it's I would say, is it reconforting? I think it is the expression, yeah. To know that actually it's it doesn't have to be all that complicated to move in any direction of sorts. So it's just about, I guess, being able of doing anything. But that's that's what we are here for, I guess, to see how how we get to actually live life, not just say that, oh yeah, living life is such a good thing. Never living it. It's also about doing, not just about saying what could be done and such. So it's going to be a fun ride. But yeah, what I already said, it might take long. Time to finally apply stuff about patience and whatnot. It's despite how much we might want to look like we are very clever and whatnot, yeah, it's understanding fully what it means to be patient enough takes maybe a lifetime. So yeah, it's time to slowly apply and keep on refining the idea about patience so that one day everything else gets to be. And we find ourselves also existing in the place in which the things came to be, so that we find ourselves satisfied, content, having achieved something, I guess, instead of having just chosen to not be. I guess that's a proper short way of saying it. But yeah, many things are like that. Just just about life, man. Life and the ordeals that come with being It's it's a long one, but at the end it is still a worthwhile one. But yeah, I think the conclusion is one cannot be unhappy. To find ourselves in that state is to actually even perform a disservice to our own being, because it isn't so much of an obligation to let the problems drown us. Nothing is actually all that important, sadly. Culture has allowed the actual, I guess, it's not that there never was one, yeah. The actual one, the actual way of identifying which things matter and which don't, all of that has been made to look like a bad thing, a negative thing, a damaging thing, actually. So it will just need patience. And that's the eternal work to do. But yeah, besides that, I don't know, man. I guess it is complicated. Having to deal with all of the other aspects of life is always a sort of crazy thing. You wouldn't actually expect that being alive would end up meaning having to go through so many other aspects of existence. It's that same side that I was sort of talking about, but on the reverse. It's not that life is way too long. It's hard to keep on existing. It feels quite crazy to see that, yeah. And so many things get to happen one year that gets to be so full of unavoidably, as long as one is actually looking forward to things, as long as we are involved in doing stuff and whatnot. Yeah, even just a week can be packed to the brim with things to do, places to be in, ideas to talk about. And it's nice, it's nice. I just think that, yeah, at some point, I guess that's, let me say it like that. It's one of those fears, I guess. So much of everything. How can one actually keep on appreciating what actually matters? That's why also I was, I guess that's partially where I was trying to go with. Oh yeah, we have so much briefness. Even what isn't a brief can be found in existence for a price of, I wouldn't say a reasonable good of any of those things. Just for a price, it can be found. And then it becomes another part of our life that we can just drown in. Then it can be something that we can obsess over. It can be something that we can let ourselves just transform into the most meaningful thing. That's when it feels crazy. It's crazy, yeah. So much of everything that I wouldn't say exactly has to be experienced, but it's the prerequisite of existing that, yeah, existence also keeps throwing stuff at us. And at the same time, no matter what, it feels like how good things feel. One also has to learn to not actually stay on any of them, or at least stay for unhealthy periods of time. There are proper times in which keeping things by us at our side is going to be an obligation almost, but it's also about identifying which in which areas, how to which things. That's I guess what I have been revisiting this whole idea. I finally sort of get it. Why is it so hard to be opinionated to think about the world? It's kind of crazy because otherwise the world still is, and the things will keep anyways happening. No matter how hard we struggle against that being true, the world just keeps on going. Life keeps on existing, no matter which kind of experience, be it a bad one, a crazy one, even if it is a good one. The world keeps on throwing stuff at us, and yeah, sometimes it can be something that we have never encountered before. We have never realized could happen to us, could become a part of our existence, and I don't know. I think it's sort of sad not to go through anything like that, but to see how when things of that sort happen, we feel so incapable of actually getting to do anything that is associated with things just being. Yeah, in that same sense, it's sadly that. No, things keep happening, and sometimes we are taken by surprise. And luckily, not everything has to be bad, but when it is bad, when unexpected things occur, it's kind of crazy to see, I guess, how much of a fragile mind we end up having if the events of that sort affect just the right fiber in us. That's what I'm trying to say. That's where I'm trying to go, I guess. But yeah, that's just life. And no matter what, it must be about also continuing on with anything else. While life also happens, that all at the end that remains is this idea, no actual anger or remorse, but rather, yeah, just that sensation of not even fulfillment. Fulfillment can be remained for a bigger category. Having gotten to know that, yeah, indeed we were, that's the part of the essence that seems to be never mentioned at all in most of cases. when it isn't all like that. But yeah, just that's just how things go. So it's fine. Well, guys, tells us how to continue to do all the other things in the meanwhile. Efforts. Continue to have those, it's kind of, yeah. It's kind of crazy to say, oh yeah, I have to continue putting efforts into things that I was actually invested in already. Not always, there are some other times in which the things that we want to do just become a part of the things that we enjoy doing. Yes. But yeah, no actual problem with any of that. Just letting it be. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to say it just as a thing that happened, but at the same time, it's also something that at the end of the day is quite true, is quite associated with what I mentioned before. I have been playing, for example, Megabonk lately. It's quite a nice one, but what I find out is that also crazily enough, it's not truly something that never in its whole life would or in its whole existence would influence us in any manner. It's something that might live. Let me safely mention it. Something that could bring out effects of different sorts, despite what we can actually realize is part of just, in this case, I wouldn't know what to say, entertaining ourselves. But yeah, so many things like that are surrounding us and more. But well, that's the obvious, the unavoidable, the excusable consequence of our efforts. So, at least, a promise remains, if nothing else. So, yeah, that's good. Uh, but well, I don't know. I yeah, I am happy. That's the real thing is that I am happy. So I think that's it. Uh, for today, we can call it a day today. That's all that actually matters. Having something that allows us to feel good. But yeah. Anyways, it was a very chill occasion.